Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm off to a Kat Von D evening. I thought, being as I'm going to do my makeup, I might as well film it. I am going to do a voiceover because I will find that a lot easier just to sort of be able to get on and do my look rather than trying to work out what I'm doing and explaining it at the same time. You'll have to excuse my scruffy hair. It did look nice this morning, however it's been raining, so I had my hood up which was rubbing on the top of my head. I also went to the dentist. When he puts the little glasses on me, he always puts a piece of cotton wool just there, and as you can see it's created a dent. It's because my eyelashes are so long, they touch the lenses and it squishes them so I can't see. So he puts that there, but I've got like an indentation. It's been there for hours, so I don't even think it's going to go before tonight. Annoying, never mind. So I'm going to cut to voiceover and I will see you at the end. So I've washed my face and taken off all of my previous makeup barring my mascara. I've prepped my face with some moisturiser and sunscreen. I'm now going in with the Ren Skincare Perfect Canvas Clean Primer. This is extremely lightweight and very thin on the skin, and it's supposed to minimise pores and plump your skin ready for makeup. To prep my eyelids, I'm using some Benefit Boi-ing Cakeless concealer. This is a liquid concealer with a doe foot applicator, and I'm using this on the eyelids to neutralise the skin, so it's a nice clean blank canvas, a little bit lighter than my natural skin tone, so that the eyeshadows that I use will come out more true to the colour that they are in the pan. Once I've blended that in with a brush, I'm going in with a beauty blender to give it a nice smooth finish. Today I'm going to use a mix of some NARS eyeshadows. I've got 3 palettes. This one is called Singapore, and I'm going to be using these 2 gold shades from this particular palette. I'm taking the lightest shade first because it is a metallic finish. I'm using my fingers to apply this. The placement for this first eyeshadow is on the inner half of the mobile lid and on the tear duct area. Then I'm placing the darker gold on the outer half of the mobile lid, and then you just want to tap over the seam of the 2 eyeshadows so they blend. The next palette I'm taking is the Mojave palette, and I have done a tutorial using this palette before. I'm going to be taking this matte brown, which is a kind of beautifully pigmented neutral to cool brown, and on a pencil brush I'm dragging this out in a V shape, but more of a sharp V shape than usual. And rather than dragging too much of that colour through the socket line, we want to keep the majority of that colour on the outer V. I wanted this look to be more like a smoky wing, but I still wanted to contour the lid ever so slightly, so that's why I'm trying to just drag a very light amount through the socket so it's still visible, but we're keeping the majority of that colour on that outer V shape. So once you've softly blended the initial lay down, we're going to go in and repeat the process, only this time don't take it any further than you've already blended out. Next I'm going into Silver Screen, and this is a really lovely matte black eyeshadow. Obviously you don't have to use NARS palettes, you can use any colours that you have that are very similar. Taking an angled liner brush by ZOEVA, I'm creating my wing on the outer edge, and as you can see it's really defined and sharp. Now I've laid down the black, I'm going in with a small amount of the brown from the Mojave palette, and I'm starting to smoke that out. I always place the tip of the brush at the highest point and then drag the brush backwards on myself. To deepen the black further, I'm taking this Marc Highliner liquid gel eyeliner in the shade Blacker. This is a beautifully precise tip, so you can get right to the very inner corners of the eyes, and it is slightly soft so it does mould to the shape of your eye. It's not as soft as the Lancome one, but it is still very precise and easy to work with. The firmer you press, the thicker the line will be, so it's really easy for you to shape the outer wing to make it fuller. I wanted an eyeliner with some staying power as I'm going out for a few hours, so I specifically chose to use the Huda Beauty Lifeline Duo eyeliner. One side is a pencil and the other side is a liquid eyeliner. To smoke out the lower eyelash line, I'm using a pencil brush dipped into a small amount of the brown from the Mojave palette, and I'm working that underneath those lower eyelashes to meet that gold at the front. I'm going to be applying some false eyelashes, but I'm just applying a very light coat of mascara over the mascara that I've already got in place, just to remove any fallen down eyeshadow. Over that I'm applying some Velour Faux Mink eyelashes in Sunshine and Whispie, and then some Stila Magnum mascara on my lower eyelashes. For face, I'm taking the Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer in the shade Almond. This is going to be pretty much the same as my recent tutorial on how to highlight and contour full coverage for a natural finish. I've linked it on top of the screen for you in case you missed it. This is going to be kind of a bit like a hack. It's something I used to do in tutorials many years ago, and I've just kind of picked it up again recently, is to apply your highlight and contour underneath your foundation. That's going to give you the most natural finish. The reason I'm using full coverage products is because this is an evening look. I can afford to get away with it for that really flawless finish. However, you can still use exactly the same technique with lighter weight based products for a daytime look. That other tutorial that I created is a dedicated video on this method, so it'll be more in depth, so go and check that out. So I've applied the highlight colours to the high planes of the face. This is the areas that are going to catch the light. So those are the areas that we want to be brought forward. Now I'm going to take a cream contour shade, again using the same product that I used in my previous tutorial. This one is from the Tarte palette. So we're going to use this darker shade to sculpt the face. So this is going to change areas that you want to maybe look thinner or slightly more rounded, slightly less rounded. If you want your forehead to look a little bit smaller, then this contour shade is really great for that. So I've applied this product down the sides of my nose, also into the hollows of my cheeks and a little bit around my hairline. And now don't worry if this looks full on to begin with, and it really doesn't matter if it's not blended entirely perfectly, because you're going to be blending a lot of this out with your foundation. A little tip when you're using cream based products is a stipple motion will definitely be your friend. It's a really great way to get a nice smooth even finish. If you're completely new to contouring, you shouldn't be scared of it. However, my advice would be to start off by working out your face shape. It's said that the most flattering face shape is oval, so the idea is to shape your face to give it a more oval appearance. That's why not one specific style of contouring is perfect for everybody. Now I'm going to go in to add some warmth to my face. Even though my face does look warmer now we've got the contour on, we are specifically adding in more of a bronzer colour, so this is going to make you look like you've been kissed by the sun. The placement of this on the cheekbones is slightly higher than the contour shade. Contouring is different to bronzing. Regardless of your face shape, you can bronze in the same areas because the sun does tend to hit the face in the same spots regardless of your face shape. For foundation, I'm going to take the Stay Naked foundation. This one is a little bit darker than the foundation that I used in my previous video, so this one won't give me as much of a brightening effect. For me, this is going to be a slightly more subtle version of my highlight and contour video. If I did want to bring a bit of brightness back, I could go back in with a little bit of highlighter. I'm going to set the face now with this translucent powder by Laura Mercier, and I'm using a sponge to press that underneath my eyes. I'm not baking as such, I'm using a light amount of loose powder and dusting that on with my beauty blender, pressing that onto the skin to make sure everything sets in place, but I'm not going to leave a white cast under my eyes. I'm now taking the NARS Laguna bronzer and adding this to my cheekbones. Remember, layering products means everything's going to last a lot longer. The foundation does soften what we've applied, and this is just going to boost it ever so slightly. For blush, I'm taking the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur blush. I would have preferred the taupe shade, however I misplaced it, so I'm taking Coral Cloud, but I would have preferred taupe because it would have been a bit cooler, which would have matched the eyes. Also, you may have noticed off screen I did my eyebrows. I have a tutorial on how I fill them in, which I will link on screen for you now. Next up, I'm going to do lips, and I have 3 different options to show you. I'm filling my lips in with MAC's pencil in the shade Coffee, and I line my lips first and then use my finger to soften it, and this just gives a very soft contour to the lip shape. I decided I wanted to use a couple more lip glosses from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Undressed set. This one is on Mute, and as you can see, it is a very muted nude. It does give quite a 90s feel, especially if you darken that lip liner. Now this one is one that I would wear on a night out, however I did feel like I wanted a little bit of a glossy finish. So I thought I would then try Beaming, which is this one, which is a metallic pale pink. It's great because it is cool, however it's a bit too pink. It needed to be a little bit more gold to go with this look. I thought I'd still pop it on to show you guys. I still think Peached is my favourite out of all of the ones from this set. So as you can see, again, it's very, very pretty, however not specifically for this look. And I tell you, it was really hard to remove. So in the end, I just went in with my old faithful, which was Boy-ing by MAC. Also, Charlotte Tilbury Hepburn Honey would have been nice. So I have finished my makeup. I've just put my hair up in a ponytail to get it out of the way because I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I've still got an hour. I've got a little bit more time than I anticipated. I really like this makeup. It's like a cool smoky gold, which is really nice. I used a nice mix of those NARS palettes because I've never used them before. I might have used the Mojave one before, but I haven't used the other two, so it's a nice little mix of the colours. I was going to use the slightly more taupey shade of the Bounce and Blur blush, but I've misplaced it somewhere. I got it out to film with and then I've put it down somewhere, not on the table. So that's why I just grabbed the coral one again. However, I would prefer to use the more taupey one because it will go with the kind of cooler shades on the eyes. So as usual, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I upload. It's usually every Sunday, but I am trying to throw in the odd Thursday upload where possible. Come follow me outside of YouTube on Instagram. That's kind of where I am mainly active. All the products I've used will be listed and linked in the description bar. And I will see you next week. Bye.